Hello everyone, welcome to this program of modern remote teaching and learning methods, and I welcome you all on behalf of my team of Gurukula Kangri Vishwavidyalaya to this program. My team will be delivering on various topics related to Google Classes, exam.net, Microsoft Teams, and other softwares which will help you to record videos and put them online. And also, we'll be talking about different LMS. LMS stands for Learning Management Systems. Now, you all know that learning also happens in the real classes, what we have been doing for last many years. But due to this COVID-19, the things have changed, and the things which were optional for all of us has now become essential. My team members, Dr. Mayank, Dr. Suyesh Bhardwaj, Mr. Nishant, Ms. Kirti, Mr. Namit Khanduja, and Ms. Diksha. They'll be talking and they'll be also showing you how various softwares or these learning management systems they work, and how you can use these systems, you can use these LMS and these softwares to enhance your teaching to a remote teaching, which I am saying is as an essential requirement now. Learning is happening in the class, but when we are talking about this remote teaching, we are saying that okay, teaching can happen from any place, your student can be at any place. Many of you have been using Google Meet or Zoom or any such video conferencing software in last few months or few days, but do you think that is it the remote teaching? I would say no, it is just a partial remote teaching. So today in my lecture I'll be covering introduction to learning management system and also the soft skills which are required to record the videos or the professional videos to be uploaded in learning management system. Now we need to understand what learning management system is. Now learning with a system, a student and a teacher is also in the class, and it is also present in remote teaching. But in this learning, a management system, or you can say a software, has come in between the two. So it means that in remote teaching we are teaching through a software. And what this learning management system contains? It contains courses of any type. It can be of music, it can be of dance, it can be of computer science, or of yoga, or any subject. The learning management system is able to deliver documents, files. It is a software, and it is helping you to manage your students like they are the real students in the class. Now the difference lies between the remote teaching and the actual teaching is that when you are at a distant place, but you want the same efficiency, you want the same output as if you are in the real class. But how would it happen? Now for that you need a LMS, because now you suppose you want to track the assignments, you want to track that whether somebody has deposited or he has submitted his assignment on time or not. But this is being done by this LMS automatically. And whenever somebody submits his assignment, suppose 1 or 2 days behind the schedule, you will get an email automatically on your email ID that the assignment has been submitted 2 days after the schedule. Like that, I may show you that this learning management system is having a lot of features. But before going to the features, let's see that it is helping you in what many things. It is helping you in registration of the students. It is helping you in authentication of the students. Somebody may not be your student, but he is trying to come into your class. So physically you are not allowing it. In this also, there is a provision that you authenticate the student whenever he joins. Now, for a small kind of class, suppose you are taking a class of 30 people, it is okay. But now, when you imagine of an atmosphere or a scenario where there is an international, you are taking a class which is of an international scenario where you have students from across the world, that you don't know who is actually the student and how he is entering into your domain of class. So in that class, you need some authentication system which is being provided by this LMS. This LMS can also be used for professional trainings in corporate. You want to take exam, you want to take quiz, whatever you are doing in a class, you want to prepare marks, you want to give them reports, report cards, or you want students to collaborate and form some kind of group or a forum or a discussion forum, or means all those things which actually you want in your class is being done virtually through this learning management system. Now you have different type of these LMSs. Here is a list of open source. Open source here means that you need not to pay anything when you download these softwares and you start using for your classes or your content management. You don't need to pay. But there are other which are commercial softwares where you need to pay, you need to buy these softwares, and these are the enterprise softwares. If we talk about this learning management system, then sometimes you are not only using laptops, desktops, but you are using your mobile phones also. So let me share with you that many of these LMS, they give all facilities on your mobile phone also. But we need to understand that the LMS on a mobile has a limitation of a screen size, which is inevitable. You need to work with that. You need to understand that limitation whenever you are dealing with your students. Now, this gives you a comparison of top 11 free and open sources of LMS, and they talk about the different services or different facilities which they provide. We'll be talking about some of the services here. Now, when we do a real-time class, means a physical class in which you are present, that kind of learning is known as synchronous learning. Now, this learning becomes synchronous when you need to take your class on Google Meet, or you take on Zoom, or I mean to say the real-time interaction between student and teacher make it a synchronous learning. But LMS says that it can provide asynchronous learning also, and it is not possible for a teacher to be present for students every time really, and especially when you have a variety of students, you have different level of students. We are not talking only about a school level or a college level, but we are talking in a whole where you have different segments of learners, starting from school students to professionals to working professionals, executives. So asynchronous learning means that where There are standard videos which have been recorded. There have been standard content, files, photos, or various other learning contents which have already been put on the software. And whenever the student has a time, because if we talk about working professionals or even normal students also, sometimes there is a issue of internet speed, sometimes there is an issue of connectivity, or they have limitations of time, and sometimes the environment does not allow. So in that case, we say that asynchronous learning is also very important, because in asynchronous learning, they can read anytime, they can retrieve, they can see the content which is already available there anytime, and they can go through the videos, they can go through the content. So synchronous is also important, asynchronous is also important. Now we say that no, we want a blended learning, that we want a classroom and an online. We need a combination of such kind of learning in which whenever you are in a class, whenever you are in a real-time teaching, you want few files to be retrieved immediately and to be shown to the students. Now that is known as a blended kind of learning. Now this blended learning, you can see here in the slide that it is also possible in various softwares, LMS, Moodle, Talent LMS, Formal LMS, and various other softwares. And like that, there is another feature which is known as SCORM. Now this SCORM is actually when you type something in a search, and every student, every learner, they try to retrieve the information in different ways through different keywords. Now this SCORM actually makes them possible to retrieve the content of their requirement, what they need immediately to available to them. So this feature is also available in many of the LMS. E-commerce here says that suppose some of the content, or like we have EDX, we have Coursera. So these are some of the standard international LMS based learning portals which provide, or which are the combination or a platform from many international universities across the world. So they have come up together and they have put their material. So, but many of the courses are paid. Now, if the payment system is added, then also few of the LMSs, they support the e-commerce also. The question arises that we have been focusing only on the content. But is that the only purpose of a LMS? While remote teaching, you need to understand the model of the information system from the learner's point of view. Now, learner actually looks to the net benefits, what he is getting by learning from any portal. It can be paid, it can be free, but these LMSs, they give different features, and all those features can be evaluated in quality terms into three parts. First is, what is the information quality available on these learning portals? Now this information quality is solely depends on the content writers, the teachers, or those who have developed this material and put on the LMS or these portals. It depends upon the quality of videos also. Now, we will be talking about this information quality in detail when we will be talking about the soft skills required by the teachers who are teaching through these LMS. We will be talking in detail. Except this, the two other important aspects are system quality and service quality. System quality in the sense that the software has many features, the system performance, that if somebody wants to retrieve any information, how fast this information is being retrieved, or what type of how easy it is to operate for a common user, and except that what type of service is being provided by this portal. Means when we talk about this service, whether the user is able, somebody is suppose is a working professional, and he want some content of a very higher level degree, or of such a level which can enhance his skills while doing his job. Now in that case, we would say that it has been categorized into the service quality. Even if we say that the information delivered through that video or through that content is a part of information quality, but we would say that the longevity, or you can say how better it is able to explain the content to the user, talks about it service quality. How fast he has been able to download talks about his system quality, or various other things. Now all these things in combination will lead to user satisfaction, or will tell that whether his intention of using has been satisfied, it has been fulfilled or not, and it will further lead to the net benefits. So while choosing the LMS, or while doing these classes, you must, in the back end, you need to understand or keep in mind that okay, the user is concerned about these three quality parameters. Now we have done a small research and compared the international portal EDX with NPTEL on these three parameters. So you can see their results here. Then we have compared Coursera and EDX itself. So we have found different dimensions or different on which we can compare these learning portals. So you can see to this, except these, the user, whenever he is using any technological model, and I am saying that either you are using mobile or desktop or any gadget, electronic gadget, that's why it is called e-learning. So he is, means the perceived usefulness or benefits depends upon that how much he find that content relevant to his job, relevant to his studies, and it depends upon that how easy it is to use that portal, how much it is relevant to the content which actually he was looking for, or whatever expectation he was having in his mind. So depending upon all these things, he says that okay, this portal is good, this class is good, that class is bad, or this portal is bad. Like that he distinguishes between various portals. Now all these contents, if we combine them, we call them as massive open online courses, what we call as MOOC. So to be a good MOOC teacher, you need to have a strong soft skills. So when we talk about the soft skills, we need to say that okay, what a good lecture in the user's mind, how does means what kind of picture he has in his mind when he talks about a good lecture. So you can see that he talks about that okay, the lecture was live, it was educative, creative, it was thought provoking. Means what is the actual output he is getting from that. But when we are talking about these outputs, we need to understand that, okay, when we are recording these lectures, and let me tell you, then when you are watching this video or this program, do not misunderstand this webinar as a professional video. No, please don't. Because the content or the professional videos which are being recorded and put on these LMS are being recorded in professional videos or professional recording rooms where you don't have any noise disturbance, or where it has been professionally edited, and that's why they give the best results. So when we are talking about the soft skills, we are talking about that scenario, as well as you can use those skills in recording your videos at home also, because the skills almost are the same. The difference lies between what? The difference lies between what I call it as a difference between the system quality and a service quality. When we say that you are recording at home and you are delivering it to the student, the service quality may not be so good. Although you are the same teacher, the information quality may be same. But yes, the speech, the volume, or the pitch, or the clarity defines the information quality, which may differ when it is being recorded in at home and when it is recorded in a professional studio. But few things are very, very common, and I would say these things are that how well a teacher manages his time, his lecture, what are the manners there, how well he is dressed, what is his speech or what he has written as a content, whether he is using a proper body language or not, what type of test he has made for the students. Or you can also say that it is almost the same set of skills which is required when you are actually present in the class, and a group of people, maybe students or executives in a training program, they are looking at you as a role model in a class, and they have a lot of expectations from you as a speaker. So while recording also, they have all these expectations from you, and which I say that it is how it defines a quality in the classroom. Is talk about managing resources, knowing the subject, managing the lesson, understanding the learners. Then maybe you may have in a group with a group of people which understand different types of languages, or their accent may be different. So that also matter. So this chart actually shows that all these dimensions leads to first making them aware about a content, about the subject, then they try to understand. Once the understanding is done, then they try to engage. The teacher tries to engage, even it is really or virtually. So when we talk about this engagement, one point comes is one feature is gamification. Whether you are engaging your students through games, and yes, this feature is also available on various learning management systems. And once this engagement is done, then you try to integrate your understanding, your delivery with the understanding of the students, and like this makes the quality, a good quality of the whole class. And yes, I would say that you need to, if you are doing only video conferencing, or you are, I would to say that you are meeting a student only on Google Meet, then I would suggest that please don't lecture on Google Meet or that video conferencing. It is just a feature. you need to make professional videos and put it on the LMS. So whenever the student needs, he can go through those lectures, he can watch them properly according to their environment. And when you do an online interaction, at that time just try, it should be an interaction with you, try to understand their problems, their issues. So it should be more like a problem solving session rather than just a lecture, because I told you that environment is a big constraint when you interact online. So for remote classroom, yes, you need a lot of online resources, you need a lot of assignments which has to be given, you need a feedback system, you need an examination system. So for a good remote teaching, you need various kind of softwares, and these video conferencing is just one feature for that. If I say that while recording you need lot of soft skills, what are those soft skills? These are the communication skills. How creative you are in designing your PPTs. What type of interpersonal skills through which you can engage your students. You are not physically present, but you want that you understand that there are different levels of learning and standard mindset of different students or group of people, and you through one lecture you are trying to give an whole understanding or whole concept to the whole group. But through your interpersonal skills you may try to reach to the most weak student, and also you may like to feed to an intelligent student also. And with this you need to have a lot of professional skills. If the class is of mathematics, the class is of computer science or yoga or various other things. These are some of the communication skills which you use in your remote teaching, your remote training, interviewing. Again, if it is an interview, a remote interview you are taking, so you need to understand that how to take an interview through this LMS or through this software. Verbal communication, listening, yes, is again an art. If you are not a good listener, teacher is not a good listener, he cannot be a good speaker. You need to understand what your students are saying when you are live with them, and based on their feedback, now you are going to change the content which you have developed. It's a ongoing process. When you redevelop your content and again put it on the LMS based on the feedback. And definitely these are some of the conflict resolution skills, or you can say when there is a group, and yes, virtually also there may be when you are online there may be few conflicts, and definitely you need to solve that. Networking here, I mean to say, is like when the assignments are coming, then you are giving a feedback to them on different assignments, you are sending emails, you are doing messages. So a lot of pre and post work is being done except the online interaction. So pre and post through emails and other media or other things what you are doing before and after the class also becomes a part of your networking. When the creativity is concerned, definitely the contents which are very, very creative, which make or which attract students to pay attention, is definitely going to give an edge to a student. Yes, and the content should definitely leads to some kind of innovation among the group. And if you are not able to do it virtually, and because it is required when you are doing your classes or interaction physically, but that innovation has to be brought into the content by any means when we are talking about remote teaching. Without that, the remote teaching becomes senseless or the baseless. So these, yes, we have been talking about, and yes, one, taking criticism is a very, very important aspect, because most of the international universities on portals now, or in this LMS, we get a lot of feedback in which the students give. They may say that your class was not actually good, or the content has so much of deficiencies. So I say that from the student perspective, sometimes it may not be so healthy criticism, but you have to take it. You have to accept that criticism in a very healthy manner and re-innovate, rewrite your content, and develop it. As far as visual skills are concerned, I will show you an example. That here you can see the two parts of this presentation, in which the font size matters a lot, the shades matter a lot, the color combination matters a lot whenever you make a presentation. So good or poor visuals also decides what you make and what you deliver, and what exactly is the feedback of students or a group to your teaching. So now I will stop here, and this video will be also delivered to you. You can see it whenever it is required, and very soon we'll be covering, or we'll be doing a 1 week program in which we will be giving one full day to each of the software, or we'll be talking in detail about all these things. So thank you so much.